All right, for more on this story, Bob Manning joins us live from Washington, D.C. He's a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council. Bob, thanks so much for joining us now. Reports suggest that the target could have been loudspeakers broadcasting anti-North Korean propaganda. Is this what really set off Kim Jong-un?
They get very irritated at the loudspeakers broadcasting kind of information that is not permitted to be broadcast in North Korea across the border. And I think that they were clearly aiming the rockets at the loudspeakers. And I think that the South Korean response, which was rather strong, tens of howitzers fired across the border, sent a clear message that, if you want to start something, we'll finish it.
How common is cross-border shelling between the two sides? I mean, they're still technically at war.
Right. This is the longest period, really not since 2010 has there been this kind of exchange of fire between North and South Korea. And I think what precipitated it, first of all, you had the U.S. and Korea doing a major military exercise in South Korea, which always irritates the North. Then the North Koreans, maybe in response to show their irritation, apparently laid mines on the other side of the border that killed several Korean soldiers. In response to that, that's when we got the loudspeakers from South Korea. And there is always a danger of escalation, although in the past, the North Koreans have been careful to calibrate the kind of provocation they do so it stays below the threshold where the United States might get involved.
Let's talk about China, North Korea's ally. How do you expect them to react to this latest episode of cross-border tension?
Well, China is the main benefactor of North Korea that they've kind of inherited over the years. North Korean-China relations are at the lowest they've ever been. I think China's President Xi Jinping has really contempt for the young leader Kim Jong-un in North Korea, but China's fearful that North Korean regime will collapse and lead to chaos on their border. So they've continued to provide food and oil to North Korea to keep it going. And I think in 2012, the North Koreans did a nuclear test that really irritated the Chinese. And ever since then, I think there's been a lot of pressure from China to not cause trouble, to keep things quiet. And this is the first real eruption in quite a while. And in the past, there have been cycles of provocations and quietude, and it's been unusual over the last 4 or 5 years that they have not engaged in the kind of provocations we're used to.